What is going on? I am Zedmod. We got Boost Zedmod over there in that creator space. Now, we're going to jump into Warships. I'm going to cover something on the main base, though. If we have a look at our good friends, the Warriors, Warriors were the introduction to Life Leech. Before it was called Life Leech, right in here, you'll notice they do 84 self-healing per hit. Why that's relevant is because right now, Warships is using Life Leech in a big way. And some of you are shaking your heads going, Zedmod has lost the plot. I'll get back to that in a second. But for now, this account is at the 5 engine room level. Do not jump to the 5 engine room level unless you have a troop that can clear those disgusting compacts. Also, probably wouldn't want to jump without that extra prototype node, but I can clear the compacts, or I could yesterday, so we'll see how that goes. I've got Everspark and rocket choppas. If you're a tank player, this is going to be a huge problem. I'll try and show you some hits on that in a little bit, but for right now, this account is sitting at 19. My tank account is at 19 or was at 19, so I've got 2 different accounts sitting at 19, one with rocket choppas at 5, one with tanks at 4, but it has enough keys to go to 5, but I am not doing it. So first things first, if you only have tanks, don't go to 5. You're probably going to need to go back and get Grenadiers, or you're going to have to go get troop health or something, because tanks on their own are just going to get absolutely demolished. Now, this right here, Crystal Shield Projector, is at rank 2. We've also got our explosive drones at tick 4. Explosive drones use Life Leech in the most obscure way. So explosive drones have somewhere in the neighborhood of, like, what do they have, like 380 health somewhere? Like they have like 310 health, depending on what level you have. They have somewhere around, like, you know, between 200 and 400 health. And how explosive drones die is they do Life Leech, but they do Life Leech of 10,000 health in the negative. So warriors heal like 84. Explosive drones heal negative 10,000. Just like full nuclear explosion. So they end up killing themselves in a massive way. And that is where that crystal shield comes in. It doesn't matter if you get hit by a boom cannon or a nuclear negative Life Leech. We are now, you know what? I'm going to switch. Let's just double check. They've got that 90% defensive building damage up in that top left-hand corner. So we are going to switch out an extra boat of rifles. This is going to be ugly. I have not faced a 90% building damage, so this could be very bad. But we've got all of our rocket choppas coming in. We've got Everspark coming in, and I am going to throw all sorts of stuff back here, just trying to get this out. What we're gonna do is we're gonna throw this back here. The reason for that is I hate the flanking stuff. We're gonna try to get rid of that cannon. That's gonna try our darndest to get all of our rifles going in the right direction. And now it's just a matter of clearing out some more of those mines. We should be able to land some critters back there just in case our rocket choppas take a turn, and then it's just dropping our GBE through all of this stuff, trying to keep all of our troops moving in the right direction. Everspark doing great things for us. Just this person is expecting us to fizzle. We are not going to give them the satisfaction of that. Also, quick note, when dropping that crystal shield, note that it does not shield your rocket choppas. I don't know what that's all about, but I was trying to save some rocket choppas over the weekend and having terrible success at it. So I'd be very cautious when using that, because it's not going to bring your rocket choppas back. Then you're going to have a bad time. Everspark doing good things, but she's kind of off to the side, which is a little bit unfortunate. So that's why we're trying our darndest to get her in and amongst the things. Need to get those choppas away from, didn't quite get it. So As you can see here, these are tough bases, especially if you don't have Everspark. This is even with rocket choppas, so lots and lots of bad things happening at the moment. We're gonna try to distract a couple things here as we try to get that final boom cannon down. I am not flaring that. I am very tempted to flare that, but Everspark is doing pretty darn well at keeping those critters out front. This is what is coming, my friends. This is an absolute horrendous, terrible fizzle meta, and you don't want to be anything near it if you don't have something that can clear those engine rooms for you. I have heard from a lot of players that they are getting 0 engine rooms. We should be able to get all of these, but no one is fizzling on my base. This account has no defensive building damage, and it has no defensive building health. So we are now at the absolute mercy of just trying to get this down. If you're wondering why I went from 4 to 5, it's because 0 people were fizzling on my 4. There are lots of very good 4 engine room bases that are causing people to fizzle, but when you don't have building damage or building health, and by the way, that time was very slow, 144, we can work with that. You can see here, I don't have that building damage, don't have that building health, so we are up against people with 90%, 100% building damage and that building health. So we did pretty well, but it's rough out there. And if it's not rough out there for you yet, it's coming. Okay, just had the worst attack of my life. There was nothing to learn from it. The game crashed afterwards as I was trying to show something, so I've just cut that fully out. Notice that I now have that damage amplifier. I do not have the building damage, do not have the building health, don't have this building damage over here. So we were tickling things up until now. That damage amplifier does 75% though, so suddenly we're getting a little bit of damage. Not going to be a ton, but hopefully going to be enough to slow people's roll a little tiny bit. You'll also notice that I only had 3 boats of rifles loaded. When I get bases like this, that is what I do. Here's my general plan. We're going to draw this out quickly. I'm going to send 3 boats, rocket choppas, with 1 boat of rifles up there with Everspark. Then I'm going to drop a boat of rifles to go this way with a rocket choppa to follow, and an extra set of rifles up that right-hand wall. It has gone very well for me in the past. At times, we'll see how this goes. Need to get you out, and then as soon as you're out, we're going to get Everspark out. There comes our 3. Actually, you know what? We're going to send 4 boats. I don't need more than 1 for that left-hand side. I miscounted on how many boats I had of each kind. And then just waiting, full on waiting at this point. Going to try to clear some of these here mines just so that all of our rifles can get up that left-hand side here in a second. Right about now, need those rifles to go a little bit left, and now just getting something in to distract something. That rocket chopper went a little bit too close for comfort, unfortunately, so now we're stuck trying our darndest to get all of our troops in. Everspark bringing some critters, those right-hand side rifles doing decent things, and this rocket chopper has decided to come back and join the party. So this back right-hand side not doing great things at all. That's going to be the biggest problem here in the next little bit. So we're going to try our darndest to get all of those rifles back into that back right-hand corner, getting all of our explosive drones back there as well. And we still are on target for the win, my friends. We're going to send a big fat flare all the way over there, getting all of the explosive drones back there, and we're going to end up with 2 minutes 30. That did not go well. That did not go according to plan. They're in 19, we're in 18, probably means we lost. Yep, lost by 3 seconds. So you get the basics idea of what the plan was. I just let a couple rocket choppas head a little bit too far left, and it didn't work out. So definitely planned don't crash on me, to have my rocket choppers come along this way, and a bunch of them came along and then turned left, which need to pay a little bit more attention to that. Also, that right-hand side set of rifles did absolutely nothing for me. Need to be a little bit better as far as GBE management as we make the slow descent downwards. Totally expected. There are people everyone I'm matching in 5 has things that are past 5. I don't have them, so struggling a little bit. But at the very least, we're clearing things. We'll do one more hit here, hoping then we'll move back towards that other base. We are going to use our explosive drones in that back right engine room. Don't want to go anywhere near that. This left-hand side shouldn't be a big deal at all. Just need to get you out there, you back there. Come on, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now just waiting. Need to clear some of these mines along that left-hand side. We're going to get some critters out here right about now. And then let's send this boat up this left-hand side instead of up that right-hand side. And then waiting. Just waiting. Like that Dr. Zeus book. Waiting for the snow to come, or waiting for the whatever the heck it is. There we go. There's our next boat of rifles. We've got some rifles already turned left. That is going to be great success. And then for this back right-hand corner, I'll show you here in a second. We're going to get you out here. Don't have enough GBE in use quite yet, but you can see what we're trying to do last time. Waiting. Here we go. Now we're going to get all of these back in here. That yellow set of critters gonna distract for a little bit, and then getting that engine room down in all of its magical glory. Come on, ladies, get a move on. Getting our rocket choppers onto that final engine room in the hopes that we get those critters in behind a little bit faster than last time. 2 minutes 35. Where the heck? Oh gosh. Just keep absolutely screwing up all of my attacks. Not watching that counter. I have lost so many battles today not watching that counter. I'm not awake yet. This is not going well. This is why I should not be releasing videos in the morning. My goodness, we pulled out a draw after all of that. That was ridiculous. That was full on. I'm not giving the full sad trombone. The fact that we got a draw there is ridiculous. That should have 1,000% been a win. I told you I cut out my worst attack of the season. That was my second worst attack of the season, and we managed to pick up a draw. So you notice there, towards the end of that attack, I used explosive drones. On bases like this, it is all about dropping the yellow critters about there. That's gonna trigger not only the, actually, you know what? I don't draw them right about there. I'll show you right about here. I like to drop them there. Then they all move around the engine room. Some of them go that way, some of them go that way. They hit that shock mine, and you end up with like 6 of those crystal critters sitting there. And then what I like to do, and what you guys should be doing, I assume everyone is drop those explosive drones right there. Like 3 boats of them, and then I drop my crystal shields on top of those. You get all of this stuff shielded. Sometimes I'm even dropping a second crystal shield. If you time it perfectly, you can get things to explode 3 times. Probably not gonna happen. This tech tree though, again, tick 4 explosive drones. You only need to have tick 3. Tick 4 helps a little bit though. Tick 1 crystal critters, defensive building damage, building health. Notice that I have the keys to go to 4. Don't have Everspark. We're using tanks, which makes me lose part of my soul every time I drop them. I kind of love the fact that tanks don't work at the 5 engine room level, but it also submarines my attack a little teeny tiny bit. I am high enough that we're probably going to struggle to find a match at 4 though. So we are in that scenario where you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. Really, really hoping we get a 4, but I kind of want to get a 5 just to show you how tanks do against those ugly, ugly front-loaded messinesses as well. This video has been chopped and cut up all sorts of times. Ran out of disk space while recording a second ago, so if you're noticing any inconsistencies, that is why. Okay, this person only has 50% building damage. They also have the building health though, so this is going to be interesting to see how these tanks do against this terrible, terrible, terrible base. We are going to drop our tanks first, simply because that right there, that cannon shouldn't see our tanks to start with, which gives them a little bit of a chance to get in and amongst the things, sending some more rifles out slowly but surely. Don't call me Shirley. I really, really do wish that I had regular critters right now, because as you can see here, we are fully wasting all sorts of GBE just to clear some of the mines. That front, what is that thing called? Tank, not in a great spot at the moment. Need to get some distractionary measures in. Just absolutely getting pummeled. But these rifles up front are doing great things for us, even just by distracting that boom cannon, letting our tanks get in and amongst the things. And as you can see here, we do not have a lot of rifles left. We are just getting absolutely lam-basted by all of this person's defenses. Finally, getting that shock launcher down. They've got 3 boom cannons left, which is gonna spell for major problems for us. Just hoping that we can somehow, some way get an engine room. They've got 5 engine rooms all in that one teeny tiny spot, and as you can see there, tanks just getting crushed. Come on, dudes, get in it. Yeah, we got an engine room down. Huzzah! Tanks having a rough go of it. So I am in the next little bit gonna be hiding a lot bit on this account. As you saw there, just tanks getting crushed. I have the choice to go backwards and get Grens, or we can try and go forwards. But as you can see there, Super Warriors are a long ways away. So if you've been a tank player all season long, give it some thought. You need to figure out what the heck is going to be next. My other account already has rocket choppas, so we're not going to go that route. We can also go back and get troop health. Gren's likely going to be a useful troop for a while though, so that's where I'm leaning. Heavy choppas are a long ways away, as are bombardiers, as are laser rangers. Same with Bullit. Like anything that can get any sort of life to us is a long ways away. So the fizzle meta is coming. Just wanted to show that. We'll try one more hit as we go downwards, falling out of 19 on both accounts. I'm confident my rocket chopper will be able to get back there. Just need to have a second coffee here, and lots of not funness coming for those of you who don't have instant training. Now, speaking of not having instant training, my other account has no instant training. It was sitting in 17, but its engine room locked at 4. So it is basically done for the season. 5s are just going to be crushing 4s. So that account is going to be having a rough go of it. Now, on these bases, on these 4s that have all of the stuff, my brain tells me to use explosive drones on this engine room, but you really have to be careful in managing your gunboat energy, because if you're not careful, very bad things are going to happen. You're not going to get those back right engine rooms, and you're going to end up just hating life with all of this GBE that you've been saving to get yourself an engine room, and it's just not gonna work out so terribly well. Big deal this season as far as managing gunboat energy, especially if you haven't been upgrading your gunboat energy, so need to be a lot bit careful with tanks. I have not attacked a 4 in a long while, simply because I was focused on my 5 engine room with rocket choppas, so this is likely gonna be a terrible attack. Excuse my awfulness on this one. We are gonna get that back there, trying to get those explosive drones to help us with that boom cannon. Also, just trying our darndest to get any GBE we can towards getting our troops to be alive when they get towards the back. That boom cannon back there, just lurking, for lack of a better term. It is just absolutely waiting to feast on all of our troops as those machine guns eat up every single one of our riflemen. The reason why I'm throwing those back there is just to try to get those machine guns to turn. So this is 4 versus 4. This is not me having a terribly good attack. Definitely, I'm finding with tanks, definitely need to get in, have 3 to 4 to 5 battles just to get my feet under me. And people are fizzling against my base, but I'm fizzling even worse at times. So bad things on the horizon. A lot of players, or sorry, a small subset of players love these fizzle metas. I am not a huge fan of them. I do like that you get some skill-based portion of it, and it's all about the timing of dropping your troops and managing your GBE and managing your troops. I like it a little bit, but I know that a whole bunch of you who, like me, play fairly casually that are just gonna quit, for lack of a... Like, there's no way that you can just overpower this. You can't just wait in 4 and get troop health and building damage and extra GBE and just overpower this. It's still... Oh god, here we go. Second try with tanks. This is going to be my last attack of the video. They have low level rockets. That's going to be a slight help. They only have 50% building damage. That's also going to be a slight help. But my goodness, I would love to have Everspark right about now. Everspark would be an absolute godsend. But of course, I don't have Everspark on this account, so we're going to have to rely on those crystal critters to heal up our troops a little tiniest bit. Also, need them to clear some form of mines as our tanks are slowly but sure. Like, look how fast all of our rifles are dying. There was one boom tuber who suggested the idea of removing shocks from the tree and replacing them with tiny shocks, and I can just say that that would have been awful. Shocks are so far away, and this is already the fizzliest fizzle meta that I have recalled in recent seasons. We are gonna try our darndest to get some engine rooms, but you can just see all of this stuff is just getting absolutely pummeled. Look how fast all of those clone rifles are exploding. Those explosive drones definitely helped us a teeny tiny bit in getting rid of those machine guns a little bit quicker, distracting those boom cannons for a couple seconds, but just gross. We still have a shock launcher to deal with. We are gonna get at least one engine room down. There's not a lot we could have done differently or better though. Those rocket launchers and things are just absolutely crushing our clones. Maybe heavies would have fought, what's the dwelled the storm, whatever that term is, a little bit better, but my goodness, they had an awful attack. We had an awful attack. I lost, they won. Not a fun end to the video, but you guys gotta know, this fizzle is coming. Wanted to get the little bit of knowledge about those explosive drones. I mean, life leech of negative 10,000. If you're wondering what negative means, crystal critters also do negative damage, which means they do healing. Negative life leech is damage to the troop itself. That's it. That's all. Not terribly inspiring, but at least I can act as like Paul Revere giving you the word of caution. I think that's I'm Canadian. I don't know if that's the right reference or not. Anyways, that's it for me. I'm Zedma. Thanks for coming in. Peace.